In Hong Kong, when you're on the street or when you meet people in a coffee shop or in a shop, it's very difficult to figure out or see how the person actually is or what their situation is. But when you go to someone's home, you can see their priorities or how they want to live and their relationships. I lived in North Point for 2.5 years, and then I moved to another part of North Point for 3 years or so. Over the last years, I've come back and photographed different things. So I've had different projects, different aspects of North Point also. For me, I like the neighborhood because it's had different waves of migrants. You know, in the early 50s, you had your Shanghainese, and late 50s to 60s, you had your Fujianese coming, and now you have a lot of the Sunnyman who live here, but also you have a lot of expats, and you have a lot of migrant workers. It's a really an interesting mix of people. Madeline was my neighbor when I lived in Lower Kayun Lane. A few years ago, I photographed her home. They moved across the street because the apartments were torn down here. Do you have other relatives who live there? Because the sister.
My mom used to live there, this building, and then upstairs of ours.
Yeah. Our last apartment was also torn down. The building was bought by a developer also, and it was very difficult to find an apartment that we wanted to live in, so that we moved out of the neighborhood. Rents have been going up a lot in North Point because a lot of the flats were investment flats that people had bought, and they were just standing empty. So it's a bit frustrating because you have people with a lot of money who are coming in and buying properties in neighborhoods and changing them, while people who actually live there and who have lived there for a long time, if they don't own their flats, find it very difficult to find a new flat that's comparable, same size. Poverty is very obviously it's about the lack of financial means and things for people, but also at the same time it's about how people can move within a society. And I think my project, it looks at how a lot of different people live. It's not just a question of migration, it's a question of maintaining your standard of living. How do you maintain your quality of life with these kinds of rising costs? So it's squeezing everybody, and it's very dangerous because you have a lot of people who are in the middle classes who can possibly fall to the poverty line because of the cost of living in Hong Kong. And I don't consider my projects very literal documentary projects because everything is subjective. It's more of a self-discovery and a discovery of the area. One of the things that photography helps me with is to reach out to other people, learn and understand people's lives. That for me is very important.